What's good, Toxic Regime? ToxicSight here, back again with part number 7 of 9 on the front lines of Paladins, loadouts, and abilities. I'm sorry. In this video, we're going to be covering... Let's see, he's got a lot of stuff I want to talk about and break down. So we will be going to Ashe. Ashe is what I call an ex-main tank. She is no longer, in my opinion, classified as a main tank, even though you could run her as a solo if you have good support and good damage champions to back her up. She is not really all that great solo unless you have, like I said, support and damage to back her up. We're gonna go over her legendary talents. Battering ram gain 90% damage reduction while channeling shoulder bash. While it sounds good, the damage reduction while channeling it, it's just while she's sitting there charging up, and then as she bashes, as she uses the dash part of it, and whenever she stops, you don't get the damage reduction in. It's only whenever she's standing still charging it up. Fortress Breaker, your siege shield moves 80% slower, has 3,000 more health, and is 50% larger. That's a really good card because the fact that the shield has 3,000 more health, it pretty much stays next to you the entire time, and it is larger to prevent people from shooting over the sides and around it to hit you. I haven't really tested it out. Like, I haven't seen an Ashe use Fortress Breaker against me lately. But it used to be glitched, where whenever your opponent used it, your screen still shows you the default size, but whenever you shot around the edges, it still hit the shield due to the fact that of the 50% larger. I don't know if they fixed that, but whenever you use it as an Ashe, it is bigger. Slug shot, your weapon shot travels 50% faster and 100% further and no longer explodes. This one is, like, in my opinion, now her worst card, other than the fact that it's no longer explodes and it goes twice the distance. But the reason that it's no longer her top is because it lost the damage buff that it used to give, which was real beneficial to her. Whenever that was there, she was like top tier, like in the top tier of tanks. Rally here, assert dominance, now charges 15% faster, stuns enemies for 2 seconds, and causes them to take 35% more damage. Yes, it stuns, but only for 2 seconds. That might not sound like a lot of time, but with them taking 35% more damage while they're and 35% more damage, and that 2 seconds gives members of your own team to shoot at them because they're not moving around and jumping and stuff. It's really good. In my opinion, battering ram is good because of the damage reduction. The only bad thing about it is it's only while she's channeling it. So it's not in my opinion, it's not comp talent, comp viable talent. Slugshot, while it had the damage, but the damage buff, I would definitely say it's comp viable and everything. But whenever it lost it, in my opinion, it lost its comp viability. Fortress Breaker is really good, like I was saying, because it's larger shield, it has more health, it moves slower, so it stays closer to you. And it protects any shots coming at you. They would have to walk through the shield to get to you. And then by that time, all you have to do is shoulder bash as they're walking to you to get behind them as they cross into you, and then they have to turn around and walk right back through. Rally here is her other viable talent, like I was saying, due to the fact that you get your ult 15% faster without morale boost. It stuns your enemies and it causes them to take more damage. We're going to start with Fortress Breaker. The loadout I use on Fortress Breaker is pretty self-explanatory on why. Sorry, I was moving stuff so that I could see my recording screen better. It's got reduced cooldown and siege shield by 2 seconds, which is Ramparts 4. Watchtower 4, increase the health of your siege by 1,000. Battlement 2, increase the duration of your shield by 1. Heavy metal, increase your base maximum HP by 450. Siege engine, reduce the cooldown and siege shield by 2 seconds for hitting an enemy with kinetic burst. Her normal abilities, or skills, however you want to call them. Burst cannon, it's area damage, fire shrapnel around every 0.9 seconds that explode, and an AoE dealing 400 damage, which is this. It doesn't go very far, but if you're playing Ashe, you're going to be on the point and trying to kill people that come on point to contest it. So it's not really all that important for the distance. Kinetic burst is area damage. Superheat your next shrapnel round. When you next fire, the round will instantly explode in a funnel cone, dealing 300 damage and applying a knockback. It does that the first time, and the next time you left click, it knocks them back. Her next ability is her Q, which is Siege Shield, which deploy a 5,000 health Siege Shield that advances forward and lasts 6 seconds. Well, with our build out, it travels slower. It's got 3,000 more health and 50% larger. It lasts an extra second, so that's 7 seconds with 4,000 more health. So it's at 9,000 health for 7 seconds that advances forward at a slower rate. That's how big it really is with the 50% buff. And her F is shoulder bash. Lower your shoulder and hurtle forward. Hitting an enemy will do 800 damage and apply a strong knockback. I'm going to come into third person so that you can see the channeling part. That's the channeling part. Whenever she rushes and everything, the channeling is done. Let me go back into first. And her ult, assert dominance, leap forward and plant your banner in the ground, dealing 600 damage on impact and creating damage immune zone for yourself that lasts 8 seconds. You must remain in the zone to receive the immunity. Now,
come on, let's fight.
That's what it does. I'm not using rally here, so you didn't see the stun. But this yellow ring. Oh wait, hold on.
Coming through.
I'm just sitting here getting my ult back in. Okay, so she leaps, drops, hits, deals damage to people. This yellow ring is where you have to stay in to get your damage immunity. If you're outside of it, they can hit you, they can deal damage to you, they could stun you, they can stun you even in it. But Inside that circle, Drogo's ult, all ults mean absolutely jack diddly squat except for Torvald's and Pip's. But even Pip, all she has to do is stay inside her circle while she's a chicken and she cannot die. Because it does not give her CC immunity like Nando's does, and it only affects her, while Nando's affects his team. So if I had to pick between those two front lines on whose ult was better, I personally like Nando's better, even though it doesn't last as long. But Ash's ult is good, especially if you have teammates that don't like. Ash would be better to pick than Nando if you have teammates that don't really like staying close. Because Nando, like I said, his ult does affect his teammates that are nearby inside his circle. Now we're gonna move on to Rally here. Like I said, Assert Dominance now charges 15% faster, stuns enemies for 2 seconds, and causes them to take 35% more damage. Rally here loadout is Heavy Metal 5, increase your maximum health by 750. Percussion, increase knockback distance, kinetic burst by 16%. Gain 42% crowd control and slow reduction. Increase your knockback distance to shoulder bash by 24 and gain 16% damage reduction for 2 seconds after using shoulder bash. So, what this loadout basically does, get over there.
Come on, let's fight.
Wait. Oh, they're all outside the circle. Never mind.
Tell him Ash sent you.
But yeah, you see how fast the ult is charging up now? And you see how small the Fortress Breaker shield is now? So that difference in the shield really does matter a lot. Because like I was saying, that shield only protects until about there, where the other one protects until about there. So you've got a big difference in Rally here and Fortress Breaker on your protection in front of you. And how fast it moves without Fortress Breaker is ridiculous. I'm gonna shoulder bash into her. That's a new knockback on shoulder bash with this loadout. That's kinetic burst knockback on this loadout.
Come on, let's fight. So cold. Never dies. Don't push your luck.
Blast. What I really like to do with her is, let me let my shoulder bash recharge. Is I'll load up my kinetic burst. I'll shoulder bash into somebody, walk up, kinetic burst, because you shoulder bashed them into back towards the rest of their team, and kinetic burst will knock the entire team out once you get up to them. Or you can do it the other way. You can kinetic burst, and while they're flying through the air, you can ready up your shoulder bash and launch it at them. So you'll land, you'll get to them whenever they land, and then after, like that, drop your shield and just fire away. And you can do that on either talent. You can do it on Rally here or Fortress Breaker. I would rather do it on Fortress Breaker because with that extra protection from the bigger shield and the slower shield, um,
Never dies. This never dies.
like you're not gonna get all of what you need.
Come on, let's fight.
Assert dominance. But that's all about her. The cards I would buy, again, these ones never change. Just look at your enemy team and see if they have 2 out of those 3 that need, or 2 out of the 5 that need Wrecker. 2 out of the 3, or 1 really, really good one like Ying or Anara, but Bulldozer mostly get caught though. Rejuve on her because she is a tank with 6,500 or 5650 HP, so Rejuve will really help her stay alive. With either build, I go Morale Boost because her ult does save a lot of points till your team can get back if they die. Nimble because she is a slower moving tank, so Nimble will really help her out. Master Riding if you absolutely need to get to the point faster, but I wouldn't get Master Riding on her. Chronos doesn't really help her out much. And then here, mainly those 2, but if you have a lot of CC people on the opposing team, Resilience. Like I said, Illuminate doesn't really help her because her job is not to chase Ceres, not to chase Sky. Shaolin or Strix. Her job is point, payload, push. So Illuminate doesn't really help her. Even though I was in a game the other day and Shaolin and Sky both were on point a lot, and I was playing Terminus, and I said, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna get Illuminate just so that I could see him, because like every time Sky got on point, every time Shaolin got on point, and I'm like, why the heck are these flanks and flanks and damages playing like a tank? And they had a Nando.
I should spend my credits.
They had a Nando. They had a main tank. They had a decent solo tank. And Sky and Shaolin were on point more than he. Now, granted, he died a lot because our Drogoz and Bomb King focused him, but he did die a whole lot. That's the end of the Ashe video. Until next time, be good to yourself, be good to your loved ones, and I will see you next time.